US riots starting, preppers and prepping? All right, so first off, we need to talk about the protests that are happening all over the place. We know about France. Then there were recent protests that happened during the King Charles III coronation, reminding us that not everyone is crazy about the royals these days. See if you can hear what they're saying here. They're shouting, "Not my king." Now, I can definitely imagine saying that to a lot of our lawmakers and government officials acting like they're kings and queens over all of us. I mean, am I right, guys? Let me know what you guys think about our government in the comment section down below. People are now calling it the summer of rage, with riots and unrest brewing all over the country. Situations are getting crazy, and it feels like stuff is about to hit the fan soon. So whether you're a prepper or not, you need to be ready for whatever might come our way. Now, a lot of countries already advise their citizens to prepare to survive without the help from authorities for at least 3 days. So, prepping is a way that you can anticipate and adapt to these conditions on the horizon, like of calamity, by stocking up on key essentials like food, water, and other supplies to survive in case of emergency. I mean, let's face it, we've all become partial preppers during this pandemic, stocking up on everything from toilet paper to gasoline. Well, I ain't stocking up on gasoline, but y'all know what I mean. Disaster after disaster has reminded us that we're increasingly at risk of being cut off from our normal food supplies. But what I notice, and it kind of bugs me sometimes about prepping, if I prep, other people or my family won't because I'm already doing it. But hey, I get it. A lot of people just kind of need a wake-up call. But share this video with your friends and loved ones if you agree. And in case you're wondering, this could also prove to be a financial opportunity for those who are looking to create some additional income streams. The survival food industry is predicted to grow by billions in the coming years, and this is why we need to learn to prep in the right way. It's not about panic buying, it's about being prepared for the future so that we don't have to panic when things go south. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this. Also, for the best way to invest in gold or silver, check out the links down below in the description of this video. A lot of civil unrest happening, guys. Now, it could mean a ton of things, like people refusing to work or even entire freight trains not running. Can you imagine? That's a direct impact on our lives. Now, we've already seen widespread strikes in France, protests in Germany, and other countries dealing with it too. And it looks like it's spreading. I mean, who's surprised here though, really? There's a lot of discontent out there. You might be feeling it, and so are other people. And so that's why channels like ours on YouTube are getting so many views lately. Ever since that caught us all off guard, we've realized that the systems we've built up are not as robust and reliable as we think they are. Y'all know what I mean. Our banking system is totally falling apart, and we've been talking about it for at least a few videos. But you know what else is getting pretty shaky? The food supply chain, and nobody's talking about it. And that's why I thought of putting out a video, later talking about how droughts and cold weather are messing with our food supply and production all around the world. What do you guys think about that? Would you want that? Let me know if you think I should make a video on that topic. And you know what's even crazier? Crazy people. I mean, I've been noticing more and more, all it takes is one little push to send somebody over the edge. And with everything that's been going on lately, it's no wonder that people are feeling like they've hit their limit, so to speak. Now, the government keeps on spouting off about how great the economy is with record low unemployment rates and all that mess. But let's be real here. Does it really feel like it's that great out there? I mean, maybe if you're a billionaire like Jeff Bezos, things are pretty good. But for some of us, it is getting harder and harder living paycheck to paycheck. Tens of thousands of people are getting laid off every single day, and we're supposed to believe that the unemployment rate is actually dropping? I don't know about that. Headlines about layoffs just keep coming out. So, the number of people in the workforce keeps dropping. So you'd think that there would be more people out of work, right? But we can't even ask these kinds of questions. Meanwhile, over in France, people are protesting because their retirement age got raised. Well, that's what they say that they're protesting about, but really, they want Macron and his crew to step down since they're sick of their nonsense. Basically, they're protesting the thing that they're allowed to protest because they're mad about the stuff that they're not allowed to protest. And let me tell you, people are struggling out there, especially in the inner cities. SNAP and EBT equivalent food stamps got cut big time, and prices just keep going up. Really, it's easy enough to understand when you think about it. Now, I don't know why our government doesn't understand that. Throughout history, people have protested when they can't afford to eat. That's when they go crazy and demand change. When you mess with their food, that's when people lose it. Remember the Arab Spring? Food prices went way up and people started rioting left and right. Some of those riots were even pushed by those sneaky US agencies, believe it or not. But the point is, people are fed up and they're not going to take it anymore. And with our shady government, trying to cover up their tracks, things are going to get wild this summer. And I'm talking loud. I'm talking scary. Buckle up, America. Now, it's already going down in South Africa, France, and parts of Europe. And last summer was surprisingly chill, but Who knows what we're going to see this year? So we're going to have to be prepared, guys. Have some extra stuff on hand just in case you can't get to the store. What if the distribution network goes on strike or robots take over the checkout? Anything could happen. So you got to plan ahead, stock up on supplies, and also have backup routes to get to wherever you need to go. It's better to be safe than sorry, right? My advice, be on the lookout for trouble before it happens. The best way to handle a crisis is to not be there when it's happening. Keep an eye on the news, and if you hear about something that's going to go down, steer clear of that. Take the long way to work or the long way around wherever you need to go. Just try to avoid any hot spots. But trust me, you don't want to be caught up in some crazy situation like people gluing themselves to the ground in Europe or getting trapped in your car by a mob of protesters. No matter how good you are at defending yourself, it's just better not to be there. And don't be too eager to join any kind of groups either. Remember the protests in DC a while back? There were a lot of people who just got arrested for being a part of the wrong crowd. And if you decide to march with a group, make sure you know who they are and what they're about. And if you got any bad vibes or just don't trust them, I would stay away. It's not worth getting caught up in a brawl between two angry mobs, trust me. So be careful out there, you guys, all right? Don't be that clueless person that shows up and gets in way over their head. Oh, and one more thing. I got an ominous reminder from a friend that you do not tell anyone about your preps. When he started prepping, he committed the sin of showing a friend his food storage. Now people are offhandedly mentioning inheriting their food storage. So yeah, now they're worried about it being a race to their home in the event of stuff hitting the fan, you know? Don't make that mistake. I don't know if it's just me, but the United States has definitely been changing its tune. It's like we can't even have a chill political conversation anymore, without somebody getting violent. It's insane. And if you're using basic science or logic, you might get attacked for it. And the worst part is the attackers often get away with it in certain parts of the country. Like if you were trying to defend yourself or somebody else, you might even end up behind bars too. So if you're gonna protest, try doing it in a friendly area with cool judges and stuff. And if you're not into that whole scene, I feel you. I'm not about to go out there protesting. Just make sure you got some supplies on deck at home, like food. And I know it sounds boring, but stocking up on rice and beans can be a lifesaver, especially if you store them properly. You can get like 20-pound bags of that stuff at Walmart, and they'll last for years if you seal them up with Mylar and oxygen absorbers. Now, it might sound paranoid, but history has shown us that trouble's always on the horizon. And in that case, having food in buckets is gonna be a real blessing. Just an example, without going into details, a friend of mine and his wife were very sick for about 6 weeks during Christmas. Now, since they were preppers, they didn't have to go to the store the entire time. Not that they could have because they were sick, but still, they had like 5 times as much food or water left over. Prepping works. Now, of course, you don't have to store that much, just what you can, Now, let's talk about water for a second. If the water system in your area goes down, what are you gonna do? You gotta think about how you're gonna drink and cook that rice and beans, right? Energy and staying connected. You don't need to go all out and spend tons of cash on this one. Just get yourself a couple of power banks to charge your phone. Those things are lifesavers. Now, if you're feeling fancy, you can go after a solar generator. Those things are pretty awesome. Now, we've talked about them a lot on this channel, so go ahead and check out our previous reviews on it. And as far as staying connected, your phone's probably gonna be your go-to. So make sure you charge it up. And if you're feeling extra prepared, go ahead and grab some radios too. So yeah, hope you guys found the tips helpful for preparing for unexpected situations. But remember, having a plan and being prepared can make all of the difference in a crisis. Don't forget to stock up on essential supplies like food, water, backup power. And if you're on a budget, there are still some options available like power banks and rainwater collection. Anyway, always stay connected with your loved ones by keeping your phone charged and consider investing in radios and backup communication. Anyway, appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'm gonna see you guys on the next one.